You ever open Instagram on a random Sunday night and see someone your age retiring at 38 and you're sitting there calculating whether you can afford takeout twice this week? Or maybe it's subtler than that. You're 24 or 27 or 29. You've got a decent job. Your friends think you're doing fine. You think you're doing fine. But every time you check your bank account, there's this quiet voice that goes, "Is this it? Is this how the next 15 years are going to look?" You tell yourself you'll get serious later, once your income goes up, once life feels more stable, once you figure it out. I've had that exact internal debate more times than I can count. I spend way too much time thinking about money, about why some people hit 40 with options while others hit 40 with obligations, and why your 20s, this chaotic, exciting, confusing decade, might quietly be the most financially powerful years of your entire life. Because building $1 million before 40 isn't about being a genius. It's not about crypto luck or startup exits. It's about leverage. And if you understand where that leverage hides, everything changes. So let's talk about how to stop drifting through your 20s and actually build something that future you will thank you for. First, let's clear something up. Stop wasting your 20s doesn't mean stop having fun. It doesn't mean don't travel. Don't fall in love. Don't make dumb mistakes you'll laugh about later. It means stop living on autopilot. Autopilot is sneaky. You wake up, go to work, get paid, spend most of it, repeat. Promotions come, expenses grow with them, years pass, you're busy, but you're not building. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you want $1 million before 40, you cannot coast through your 20s financially. You don't need obsession, you need intention. There's a difference. 1. Your 20s are an exponential window. Let's talk math, but not boring math. If you invest $1,500 per month starting at 25, earning an average 8% return, by 40, you're around $520,000. Keep that same $1,500 going until 45, you're over $1 million. Now imagine your income rises and you increase that monthly amount over time. Suddenly, $1 million before 40 isn't insane. It's aggressive, but doable. Now flip it. Wait until 30 to start. You've lost 5 compounding years, and compounding isn't linear, it's exponential. It's like planting a tree earlier. The shade at 40 depends on when you put it in the ground. This matters because time is your biggest unfair advantage right now. In your 20s, you have runway. At 35, you have responsibilities. At 40, you have less margin for risk. Action step, start investing immediately, even if it's small. The habit matters more than the amount at first. I started embarrassingly small. And honestly, I felt silly. But that tiny investment turned into a psychological shift. I wasn't just earning, I was building. 2, income is your primary weapon. Let's be real. Saving alone won't get you to $1 million before 40 unless you live extremely frugally. This is an income game. Your 20s are not for perfecting budgeting apps. They're for increasing earning power. Think of it like this. Your income is a ceiling. Your savings rate is how much you bounce off that ceiling. If your ceiling is low, you're working with less air. Most people treat their job like a fixed identity. I'm just in marketing. I'm just an analyst. I'm just a teacher. But in your 20s, you're not your title. You're a skill stack under construction. Communication, sales, tech skills, leadership, negotiation, AI tools, whatever field you're in, the question is, are you becoming more valuable every year? I had a friend who spent 2 years learning high income skills after work. Awkward Zoom calls, freelance gigs, no glamorous moment. By 30, he doubled his salary. That extra $40,000 per year invested, that's hundreds of thousands by 40. Action step. Pick one high leverage skill and go deep. Not dabble. Deep. 3. Lifestyle inflation is the silent killer. You get a raise, you upgrade your apartment, you upgrade your car, you upgrade your wardrobe, and somehow you're still broke. Lifestyle inflation feels harmless. It feels deserved. But here's the truth. If your expenses rise as fast as your income, you're running in place. Building $1 million before 40 usually means freezing your lifestyle while your income grows. That gap, the space between what you earn and what you spend, is where wealth lives. When I got my first real salary bump, I wanted the nicer place, the rooftop, the view. Instead, I stayed put. It wasn't sexy, but the difference, about $1,200 per month, went straight into investments. That's $14,400 per year. Invested for 15 years at 8%, that's roughly $400,000 for not moving apartments. Action step. When income increases, increase investments first. Upgrade later. 4. You don't need perfect, you need aggressive consistency. People imagine millionaires as stock picking wizards or business prodigies. Most self made millionaires before 40 did something much less dramatic. They invested consistently in broad markets, over time, index funds, retirement accounts, boring diversification, boring works. Trying to outsmart the market usually slows you down. Think of investing like brushing your teeth. It's not exciting, but skipping it hurts. If you automate $2,000 to $3,000 per month in your late 20s and increase that as income grows, you're stacking serious momentum. Action step: automate everything. Remove decision fatigue. You should not rely on motivation to build wealth. 5. Your social circle will either accelerate or drain you. This one's uncomfortable. If your entire circle revolves around consumption, expensive weekends, constant upgrades, keeping up, it becomes very hard to build differently. Humans normalize whatever they're around. When I shifted from friends who talked about purchases to friends who talked about investments, my mindset changed without me forcing it. It wasn't about cutting people off, it was about expanding my environment. Action step: expose yourself to people building wealth. Podcasts, books, communities. At least balance the input. Social gravity is real. 6. Avoid catastrophic mistakes. Building $1 million isn't only about what you do right. It's about what you avoid doing wrong. High interest debt, constant car loans, lifestyle financed by credit, divorce without preparation, quitting jobs emotionally without a plan. You don't need to be perfect. You need to avoid blowing up your trajectory. One bad financial decision in your 30s can erase 5 years of progress. Action step: before any big financial move, pause. Wait 48 hours. Think long term. Your 40-year-old self deserves a vote in that decision. 7. Ownership changes the game. At some point, you need ownership. Ownership of businesses, stocks, real estate, intellectual property. Working for money alone won't scale enough. Money needs to work while you sleep. Maybe it's investing heavily in index funds. Maybe it's starting a side business that compounds. Maybe it's rental property, but ownership creates leverage. When I started thinking less like an employee and more like an owner, my decision shifted. I asked, how can this hour today produce income years from now? That question alone changed everything. Action step: build at least one income stream not directly tied to your hourly effort. 8. Identity is the real unlock. Here's something people underestimate. If you don't see yourself as someone capable of building $1 million before 40, you'll subconsciously sabotage the path. You'll downplay opportunities. You'll justify overspending. You'll delay investing. When I stopped thinking, that's for other people, and started thinking, why not me? My behavior aligned. It wasn't ego, it was ownership. Action step: rewrite your internal script. Say it out loud. I am building 7-figure net worth. It feels uncomfortable at first. Growth usually does. Now let's zoom out for a second. $1 million before 40 isn't about flexing online. It's about optionality. It's about not panicking when layoffs happen. It's about taking a career risk because you can. It's about working because you want to, not because you're trapped. That psychological shift, that's freedom. And freedom compounds just like money does. The earlier you build it, the longer you live with it. If you're 22 and watching this, you have an almost unfair advantage. If you're 28, you still have time. If you're 32 and feel behind, you're not out. You just need intensity. The worst move isn't starting late, it's drifting. Your 20s are leverage, your 30s are acceleration, your 40s are stabilization, but only if you build intentionally now. Let me leave you with this. At 25, $1 million feels abstract. At 35, it feels ambitious. At 40, it feels transformational. Time compresses faster than you think. You don't need to sacrifice every joy. You don't need to become a hermit investor. You need alignment, higher income, controlled lifestyle, consistent investing, ownership, strong environment, disciplined identity. Do that for 10 to 15 focused years and your life bends in a different direction. And one day, maybe at 38 or 39, you'll open your net worth tracker and see 7 figures. Not because you were lucky, not because you were special, but because in your 20s, when it was easy to drift, you chose to build. Start now. Your 40-year-old self is already hoping you do.